What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another full self-driving beta video. We are on the latest update, 11.3.6. There are no new release notes, but Tesla has been updating the full self-driving software once a week now for over a month, which is pretty great. So turning it out of that parking lot really nicely. And I gotta mention one more time, I keep saying this, but if you're on a 2023 build, go into your little settings here, software. If you look here and you're on a 2023 build under software, you cannot get beta yet. Beta has to be a higher number here after where it says 11.3.6 than what you currently have to be able to upgrade. So just keep that in mind. So we're going into downtown Ann Arbor here for my first drive. I did make this route with the help of chat-gpt, tried to make sure we got some unprotected lefts in there, and then I added it a bit as well to add a little more complexity, and I tried to get a roundabout. I think I got it in there, so we'll see. So heading into downtown here, and this yellow sometimes works well, this blinking yellow sometimes does not. So we're stopping and we don't need to. And oh my goodness, you're just not going at all. Okay, so I'm gonna push it because it's not going. So I already had to intervene, so not very good job there with that blinking yellow. So we're already approaching our first destination, and one thing I will say is the car in this version 11 has been very safe. So if you're looking from like a safety perspective, that's kind of what it's doing the best. We're folding mirrors here because it's scared of this parallel parking Prius. You can fit through there, but okay, all right. A little too cautious for me. It's been very safe, but as you can see, it still does some things that are kind of weird, kind of robotic. Let's see if we can get through here. This looks like it's been opened up a little bit, so the car should be able to figure this out. And again, just really, really cautious. Changing lanes away from path blockage, which is the correct thing to do. Okay, so we made it through, so very nice. A few other things I want to mention. Highway, for me, is just not very good. I'm gonna cover it in a future video, and a few of the things I think are specific to just the way my highway is set up, but the other things like merging onto the highway, which everyone does, is pretty bad, and then I have it trying to take random exits all over the place, which like everyone has exits on the highway, so I'm gonna make a full video about that, but this video is just gonna be about downtown driving and how the car does in these more, complex scenarios with a lot more traffic and a lot more people walking around and things like that. So let's let the car continue and see how it does. If you enjoy this one, make sure you hit like and get subscribed. All right, so it finally loaded up the nav here. That took a long time, and it is gonna take a left, I think, okay, very strangely. Oh, buddy, oh, buddy. I mean, it did turn the turn signal on again for changing lanes, but I think it was in the straight lane, and of course there was room there. There was nobody to our left, so it was a normal kind of human thing to do. But in terms of the car, I'm surprised that it didn't just go straight and reroute from there. But now that it is back on track here, it is going through nicely through that yellow. That's definitely the right thing to do there. Stays in the correct lane. This is the spot, if you've seen my videos, where the car tried to drive into the curb when beta was brand new. So all right, I can put in our next one and keep going here. All right, so we want to make a move to the right for the turn coming up, and it does a really nice job waiting for that bus. There's definitely room here. It's a little tight, but there's room. And bam, there we go. So it moves over nicely. I'm a little disappointed in the load times of these reroutings, and I don't know if that's related to my internet connection or the current version of beta or what, but it introduces weirdness that isn't exactly the fault of the car because it doesn't, for a while, doesn't know where to go, doesn't know what it's doing. Nice slowdown for this guy. Very good job keeping track of him, even though he was temporarily blocked by a car there, his vision. The beta seemed to really track him nicely. All right, so we'll wait here for this pedestrian. I was kind of just watching and waiting, and the car did wait, and it is definitely the pedestrian's right to take that from us and go across the street. So very nice, very polite. And after she's out of the road, we should be good to go. This guy starts taking his turn, which I'm not surprised by, and he's going to turn right here though. And beta is not confident that he's not going to interfere with us, and then it moves through. So little timid again, little timid. It's safe, it's fine, but didn't really need to wait that long exactly. All right, nice job at the last few stop signs here. We are turning left, which we have to do. Closed roads and things are still pretty iffy with beta. So it's going to wait for these pedestrians to the left. And also, I'm not sure what the construction vehicle in front of us is going to do. Oh, okay, they're going to turn left as well. And after the next few people, we can go. I'm going to edit this. And I should also mention, I did get a reply on Twitter from Elon Musk. That honk was not for us. He talked about, back in January, they were going to remove the nag if you had like over 10, I mean, he was kind of responding on Twitter to somebody. And okay, nice job continuing there, even though we were at the destination. Talking about the nag going away if you had over 10,000 miles on beta. Okay. Too hard of a stop there. There was a pedestrian on the other side of the road that it was stopping for, so I had to push it through there. And basically, we still have the nag. You know, he was like, yeah, we could remove the nag. We'll have an update in January, and now it's April. And he responded saying they're working on it, and actually the nag is now reduced in version 11, which, to be honest, I did notice that, but I always hesitate talking about those things because I've kind of in the past thought like, it seems like there's, you know, more time in between the nag, but I feel like a lot of time it's just anecdotal. It also depends on exactly what the car's doing, how fast it's going, where you're driving, in terms of, that road is closed. Man, there's just so much going on. I'm just going to stop it here because it's closed to through traffic. I don't want to go through there, so we'll count that as a disengagement. See, I see that cyclist. I see what he's doing, but I'm just going to keep driving. Wait for this person. Oh my goodness, there's just too many. There's just too many like downtown things going on in terms of turns and things. It's difficult because if I want to have all this difficult stuff, I have to put in a bunch of destinations or else you're just going a straight line for a long time, right? But then you end up with all these rerouting things. So anyway, the nag is reduced and I'm definitely noticing that, but I thought maybe it wasn't real. I was just making it up in my head. So that's nice to see that it's being reduced and I can definitely tell. So we'll stop here. And again, we're going to wait for pedestrians. Yeah, I guess that's the right thing to do. And after she is out of the way, yeah, you got to move forward here. You're never going to go. Nope, it's going to keep waiting. All right, so start moving up. Start moving up. Oh, it's so awkward. Oh my gosh. All right. A little iffy, not bad. All right, so this crosswalk again is always very busy. Beta doing a nice job slowing to a stop here. Very comfortable, not too hard or surprising. And we need to just push through here. But yep, it's gonna wait for, oh, it's getting awkward, I don't know. Okay, I hate that so much. I try not to, you know, give the person any kind of indication of anything because I want it to be the person versus the car, not me. But there we go, it did scooch through there. I wonder what's going on. The guy behind me still has his headset on. I just don't know what's going on. And again, gonna mess this up like it does every single time. I've reported it. I've done the voice reporting here and everything. And it's just not very good at it. So just please move through. Okay. So again, that's 2 lanes and the car just sits right in the middle. Now, if they would paint a line there, I've seen it in other places closer to my house where that totally fixes that issue, just having that line painted there. But beta needs to be able to, I mean, a human's not confused by that. There's very clear arrows on the road. Beta should know that's 2 lanes and be in the correct lane, despite a single line of paint being there or not. All right, so 5-way intersection here. Car so far is handling this nicely. I mean, pretty simple, green arrow, but sometimes with non-standard intersections, it can really mess up the car, like where it's gonna go, and that time it handled it nicely. So stopping for this pedestrian. They were not confident in our stopping. I could feel beta slowing, but I guess it wasn't enough slowing for that person because they did seem a little hesitant. I don't know, it felt fine to me. So a bit of a tight right turn here. Not super excited with the positioning. We're just barely in the cycling lane, which we definitely should not be doing that. Wow, that's a weird, weird paint. What the heck is going on here? So cycling lanes on both sides. And the car's handling that really well. The cycling lanes used to mess up the car a little bit, but for the most part, it handles them well now. So like this, let's see if the car can, I mean, no car can fit there. So you have to try to squish it between these 2 lanes and you don't have a choice. It's handling that fine. That's pretty nice. You kind of have to take some of that cycling lane in order to not block the other side of the road. So turning right here. So here's where like that person has their right turn signal on. You don't always trust it, but I can tell by the way they're slowing down, they're gonna turn right. We definitely could have driven in front of them, but we did not. And now we're gonna stop because, wow, a bus was coming. I don't know, that wasn't very good. If the car would have accelerated hard, bus was coming and we were turning right. We could have moved in front of them because they were going slow enough, but just the way that Beta drives, it doesn't really take off that harshly. And so I don't know, I didn't like it. So I took over there. All right, and then this left turn, it looks like it's thinking about it. Yeah, that's what I figured. It's gonna miss that because there wasn't enough room basically to get into that lane. And now, oh buddy, why? Okay, so that human is screwing up too. All right, so we're just gonna ditch that. I'm actually fine with that because you kind of screwed it up, but just don't try to turn left here. You can't do that. Look at it thinking about it. Look at it thinking about it. Okay, it didn't do it. Wow, I'm gonna report that. That would have been really stupid. And that's actually something in the past, Beta used to pretty much always do that. If it had missed a turn in that way, when it got to the road, it would try to just zoop, go across. You know, that's like over a year ago. That used to be something that it would do pretty commonly. So I'm really glad to see this reroute. That was actually handled pretty well, but overall, you know, not the most impressive Beta drive I've ever had so far. Okay, now you need to go around. Come on. Oh my gosh, just do it. There we go. Ooh, nice little boost to get out of there. All right, I'll allow it. Could have been a little smoother, but you did it. Oh, hard braking. I don't know why. Probably because of the cyclist. So I'm pushing it up a little bit here. Now it's driving on its own. Feels really scared right now of everything. That's how it feels. So as soon as these pedestrians are out of the way, you should go. And come on, just do it. All right, and again, a little takeoff. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't feel very smooth, that's for sure. It feels very kind of jerky, kind of back and forth. So nice speed up there, not scared of that crosswalk, which is good. We'll see how it takes this right. But like we're already braking a little too hard back here. I don't know, like 11.3.1, is that the first one I got? I felt like that was kind of the best one. And things have gotten more jumpy, you know, just like more timid. And I get it from a safety standpoint, but then it makes it not usable in terms of like convenience and not getting annoying to the people around you. Again, I mean, besides it wanting to go in front of that bus, most of the stuff is not really safety related. It's just weird and jerky and annoying to the people around you. All right, so nice job here. It's just scared of the pedestrians. That's the only thing. All right, so it is making it through. And again, I understand that. It's just not, I'm just commenting on how it's not really a natural way people would drive. All right, so you got to go around these people. It's a little confused as to whether these are driving cars or parked cars. I'm going to report it. Okay, nobody's behind me, so I'm just letting it figure it out. But like, I'm surprised it thinks they're stopped here. But I'm going to have to disengage. There you go. I gave that enough time. Not going around stopped vehicles. Okay, let me turn back on, please, here. There you go. So see how this BMW is kind of moving towards that person? The whole reason he's doing it is because if he just sits at this stop sign, he's never going to get anywhere if he's like being polite for pedestrians. So from like the self-driving car point of view, I get it. You can't be risking stuff like that. But from a practicality standpoint, you got to be pushing through these intersections where there's lots of people walking. And this intersection isn't even that busy. You know, it still can trip up the car just having 2 or 3 pedestrians crossing at different points. So another parallel parker. I would just go around. I don't know if I shouldn't. That's what I would do. Just go, Beta. Again, no one behind me, so I'm allowing it. Just do it. There you go, buddy. It's okay. Yeah, and then it gets scared of it anyway. Oh my gosh, I'll report it. I mean, I can at least understand why the car would be timid there, but let's just go. And again, like getting up to this stop here is like, I don't know, not the most impressive drive I've had, that's for sure. Waiting here is actually pretty nice because that car was in our way. But then again, this person stopped, so I'm just going to take over. It seems to be having trouble with parked vehicles. That's something that the car has actually been very good at for the most part. But right now, in this version, in this drive, it's really struggling with that. And I don't know why. It's just this update does not like parked vehicles. All right, so we are stopping for this guy. Kind of too hard of a stop, but it was impressive in the fact that you are supposed to stop when those lights are pressed. Now, the car doesn't seem to be able to see those blinking lights, but it saw that guy with his skateboard there. It knew his intention. A pretty decent takeoff there. It knew his intention of crossing the street, and it did wait for him. So that was the right thing to do. I know a lot of people would just kind of fly through there at that speed and when he's not actually in the crosswalk, but that was the right decision, and I liked that very much. All right, so we should be moving over to the left here because that's our left turn coming up where that bus is right now. And we are gonna just fly past it. Okay. It's like it didn't even, what the heck? It didn't even register that left turn. Didn't even think about changing lanes there. So let's wait for the reroute. Well, I will say at least it brought us to a pretty nice unprotected left here. You know, I don't mind the missing a turn here or there so much as how it's handled, and that one was handled great. It didn't hesitate, it didn't, you know, wobble the wheel or do anything weird, it just kept driving. So if, like, let's say I didn't even know where it was going, I wouldn't have noticed that that was wrong. That's the way it needs to handle those missed turns and stuff like that. So, come on, he's out of the way. So timid. It was handled well, and I like that. And then the unprotected left was handled pretty decently as well, besides just being so timid. And then we'll take this unprotected left as well. Yes, get right up right now. Don't step at the line. Ah, jeez. All right. All right, so again, an unprotected left. Not sure why we're not scooting up yet. That's what I would be doing, though. Oh, well, not that big of a deal. After this pickup. Oh, there you go. Okay, come on, just... Oh, why? Oh, it's so awkward. Okay. Oh my gosh, what? Just go. Oh, what's up? What's up? All my cameras are clean. I know people ask that. I actually didn't check them, but it hasn't been raining or anything, so I know they're clean. I don't know. I don't know. Very timid. All right, so going through the crosswalk here. I knew you were going to wait for this guy, which is fine. See, this kind of getting up there, and then you got to keep going. Okay, that was a little more human-like. Still a little timid, but pretty good. Now, I was a little afraid of getting my last destination in here. We're going to miss the roundabout, so I'm going to have to take over just for a second just to force it through this roundabout. Let me pull up here. And double-click, and then it'll reroute, but even without the route, it should know how to get through a roundabout, right? We'll see about that. So this guy actually is being pretty timid, too. I'm guessing because of the pedestrian. And so it is nicely taking this roundabout so far. Okay, that was perfect. It's the only roundabout I've done version 11 so far. I have no verdict on that, but that was done perfectly. All right, so let's talk about this drive a little bit and wrap it up. It seems like there's lots of regressions in terms of the car's confidence, and it's so strange because when we first got version 11, I was ready for a lot of, you know, things to kind of go wrong and weird stuff to happen, because that's what happens when you get a big update, and, you know, and then they'll fix it eventually. This is kind of, yeah, it's not your turn to go. This has kind of been the opposite, where when we first got version 11, of course, ignore the highway stuff for now, there was some weird stuff, and I was like, wow, this is really impressive overall. And then even with, you know, a couple videos ago, I had one of the best downtown drives I've ever had, in this downtown, I've ever seen, with so many really impressive moves, the way the car handled intersections and pedestrians and all kinds of stuff. Well, now, you know, we're 3-4 updates later, and I'm finding the car's more timid than it was before. So nice job moving up for this right on red. And is it just this drive? Does it perhaps happen to be just this drive? That could be. But it's just so weird to see these regressions, especially when you're getting like the weekly updates like we're getting right now. So, you know, I'll put the stats up and everything. Yep, go ahead. Go. I'll put the stats up and everything and my grades and stuff, but overall it seems a little backwards. But what we're going to do, so I have another video I'm going to make of highway stuff because that's just so bad for me. And then I'm going to take it on more normal routes. I like this torture test because it's a lot of really difficult stuff packed into a very small distance. But it's not like nobody goes around the city in circles and looks for a pedestrian. So actually using the system, for the most part, is pretty good for me. I still have some weird stuff I'll try to touch on. But yeah, we'll get like a more kind of normal, quote-unquote, route in there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. I look forward to talking to you down in the comments, your thoughts, and you will see me in full self-driving beta in the next video.